Hello, friend, and welcome back to Girl in Flux. I'm back from a brief hiatus. I had a pretty busy week last week, as we all say, but honestly, I just couldn't make time or motivate myself to read my diary and make these recordings. But I'm back at it. I'm continuing along my journey of processing my past by reading my diary entries out loud, my diary entries that I wrote as a high schooler, reading them out loud, playing them back as I try and not even edit, but just make sure these videos are good to go to post on YouTube, and then releasing them into the void for anyone to listen to. And I hope that just one person resonates with something that I say in my words as a high schooler, as a struggling high schooler who's navigating all the stereotypical challenges of the social scene of high school, fitting in, college applications, finding myself, who I am, trying to figure out who I want to be in the world, but also a little spiced up with me also recovering from an eating disorder. So there's another level of complexity to my high school experience. So let's just move right along. I kind of fast forward a little bit in this diary because my last video was me as a junior in high school, and then I didn't write pretty much at all throughout my junior year of high school, and then starting probably in the January of my senior year of high school, I started making it pretty much a daily practice. So this is where I get in depth of all that's running through my mind and what I'm struggling with and all my thoughts. I just dump those into here during my senior year of high school. And in a couple of my previous videos, I share entries where I talk about my goals for blank year. So my goals for sophomore year, my goals for junior year. And today's entry will start off with my goals for senior year, which I wrote on September 1st, 2017. And I'll show you the page because it looks a little different than my other goals. My other goals, I had 25 goals, but my other goal pages, I guess, I had 25 goals. But here I only have this short entry, and I'll read it to you. So it says, "This year is a little different. I only have one goal for my last year of high school, and I plan to accomplish it." And underlined here says, "The ultimate goal: to defeat anorexia nervosa with faith and trust so that I may contribute something good to the world." So when I wrote my goals for sophomore and junior year, my last goal was always, number 25, was always to contribute something good to the world. I was always thinking about what I want to leave on this planet during my finite life. And I think senior year I was coming to the realization that my eating disorder was just going to be the most formidable barrier to me making the contribution that I want, which I don't even know what I want to contribute, even now as a almost 23-year-old. But even then, part of a big factor of my recovery was realizing that I could never be the person I wanted to be if I was still actively engaging and basically surrendering to my eating disorder, which had such a rule over me. And so I was really, really determined to fight this, to find ways to move on and accept all these negative thoughts, but also move on from them. I practiced a lot of acceptance and mindfulness therapy. So it wasn't like the eating disorder was the enemy, but I realizing where these eating disorder thoughts originated from, and then finding my own ways of coping instead of like it's me against the ED. It's more of me trying to become more whole, and in order to do that, I had to let go of these eating disorder thoughts and behaviors. So I think that was really a big theme of my senior year. It was just fighting this because I was going to go to college, and I knew having an eating disorder in college would just not be good in caveman terms. But there was a lot at stake. If I wasn't healthy enough, my parents would not permit me to go to college on my own and live in a dorm where no one was supervising what I was eating. And also, I had a very strong therapy team thanks to my very vigilant parents, and they would not let me go on to college. And so I wanted to break through and prove to myself that I was ready to go to college, but also just live the life I wanted to and contribute something good to the world. So that was my sole goal for my senior year. And you should keep watching these videos if you want to find out what happens. And then the next entry is December 31st, 2017. And I write like literally very little. So I'll read that one, and then I'll read one more. So I'll read 2 more entries. I'll say the date before I recite the entry so you know when the day changes. All right. December 31st, 2017. I actually just want to be an actress. That's my real dream. But I'm too short. But I still want to be an actress. Still. It's Timothée Chalamet. He is so inspiring, and I want to act like him. I'm going to watch his crying scene every day until I can do it for myself. I want to study Call Me By Your Name for acting style, especially because Timothée Chalamet is the star. What the heck? Okay. I don't know what overcame me this December of my senior year of high school. I think I just watched Call Me By Your Name, and I was so captivated by the acting and the cinematography and the storytelling, and I never felt emotion so strongly. In my eating disorder recovery, I learned to numb out a lot of emotions because I had to do things I didn't want to do, and I just became a very numb, insensitive person. And when I watched that movie, I realized how acting and storytelling through the screen and embodying someone else and just being a character with whom someone can empathize with and make people feel something, that just seemed like an amazing way to live and make a livelihood. It would be what could be more beautiful than helping people feel something as your job as an actor. Well, at this point, I also still want to be a doctor. I'm still kind of up in the air with that. I'm not here to talk about where I am right now, but acting is still an option, I guess. I have no idea how it'll happen, but apparently here this is where I think I started thinking about acting. I never acted in high school. I acted a little bit. I did like community theater when I was a kid because my mom made me because I was really shy, and it did help me get out of my shell. And then in 8th grade, I did like a Shakespeare unit, and I loved the monologue that I prepared. And I actually won best dramatic performance in that small middle school Shakespeare festival, but that was a high point of my childhood. I'm still drawn to the profession of acting, I'd say. And I just don't know how to get my foot in the door. And it seems so elusive and it seems so hard, but someday maybe I'll and I'll start that journey. But I don't know where life will take me. I'm in my young 20s, so we'll see. But December 31st is when 2017 is when I first proclaimed it in my diary, that I do want to be an actress someday. And I don't know. I don't know if that'll ever happen. Maybe I'll just continue on my usual path of wanting to go to medical school, which is the other option at this moment in my life. But I've always had this calling to do acting, but I've never really immersed myself in it, and that's something I'm looking forward to do in these coming years, in one way or another. So yes, here's to proclaiming random desires to act when you have no acting experience and would never know how to get into that industry, where I still believe that acting is it's just, it seems so amazing to do that with your life. And so hopefully someday I'll be on the screen, have a camera in my face while I'm embodying someone else, but also telling a very, very important story and helping people feel things. Because I feel like if you're numb, you're not really living. Duh. But there's a difference between living, simply surviving, and feeling alive. And whenever I watch movies and watch theater, but especially movies, when there's that subtle acting and the camera is zoned in on the eyes or the expressions, and even when they're saying nothing at all, those are the moments when I feel things and feel alive. And just the prospect of being the person in front of the camera, ooh, that makes me dream. But it could just be a pipe dream. I don't know. Okay, next entry. January 8th, 2018. So I wrote my daydream of wanting to be an actress on New Year's Eve, and now it's January 2018. College apps are in. God, I hope I get accepted somewhere. I can't help comparing myself with others who made it into a school, early action, or early decision. I need to be more productive too, but I keep on losing motivation, which is not good. I need to be more on top of things. I was really hard on myself. Things with the eating disorder are better, but there's still some thoughts floating around in my head. There's this new kid at school who is so cute, and I hope he notices me or has at least one class with me. I am the least experienced 17-year-old to ever live. I haven't even had my first kiss yet. I'm hoping to have an experience before I graduate. Typical dramatic Megan. There was a new kid at school. He was a junior, though. He played cello in the orchestra, and I was violinist in orchestra. And he was so not interested in me, but I was like, oh my gosh, he's beautiful, and he's new. And I was just crossing my fingers that someday our paths would cross. And I think they do. Stay tuned. Body image has improved. Just need to convince myself that restricting doesn't make me any more likely to get a boyfriend or a college acceptance letter. I'm kind of sad. I've never really had a true friend in high school. That's another reason why college is calling my name. A fresh start. I need to stop being so self-conscious. Oh, good news. I won the Columbia Orchestra competition. Okay, this was a competition where if you won, you got to play with an orchestra solo. Okay, this diary is prime Whiplash style writing. Okay, I'm like being hard on myself for being self-conscious, and I'm like, oh, good news. I won the Columbia Orchestra competition. This is the first time something good has happened to me in a long time. But I'm nervous about playing with orchestra, especially since Introduction and Tarantella, which is the piece I was playing, very technical, very fast, is so fast, as I say here. The end. And that is a couple entries starting out my second half of my senior year of high school. And I hope you enjoyed my ramble on my pipe dream of being an actress. But yeah, stay tuned because some things get exciting in my senior year, second half of my senior year of high school. All right, signing off for now. Bye.